Welcome to Old Coins News. Today we bring you three amazing and historic coins, each carrying hidden value, rare features, and incredible stories from the past. Every coin opens a new journey, a new discovery, and a world of knowledge. So let's begin this exciting numismatic adventure together, only on Old Coins News, where every old coin reveals its true identity. So let's get started. The United States of America quarter dollar, Massachusetts 2000. The Bay State, minted with a Denver D mint mark, is one of the most historically meaningful and culturally symbolic coins issued in the 50-state quarters program. This coin carries all the classic inscriptions of American coinage, including United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, E Pluribus Unum, and the denomination quarter dollar, but it also highlights the rich heritage of Massachusetts through a thoughtfully crafted reverse design. As the sixth coin released in the State Quarters series and the first coin issued in the year 2000, it honors Massachusetts' central role in early American independence, political development, and cultural identity. The design reflects over 2 centuries of the state's influence on the history of the United States, beginning with its founding year 1788. Which is proudly displayed on the coin to mark the year Massachusetts became the 6th state to join the Union. The obverse front of the coin features a traditional portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932. This portrait was slightly modified in 1999 to match the styling of the state quarter program, while still retaining Washington's strong, dignified profile. Surrounding the portrait are inscriptions such as Liberty, representing the American ideal, and I in God We Trust, the national motto symbolizing faith and unity. Beneath Washington's neck is a Denver Mint Mark D, indicating the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities producing circulation coins for the United States. The phrase quarter dollar appears at the bottom, affirming the denomination. Although millions are minted for everyday use, each quarter reflects the mint's responsibility to maintain detailed artistry at mass production scale. The reverse back of the Massachusetts 2000 quarter is where its historical depth truly emerges. Dominating the design is the outline of the state of Massachusetts, engraved with geographical accuracy to reflect the shape recognized across maps and history books. Standing boldly in the center is a figure of the Minuteman, inspired by the iconic statue at the Minuteman National Historical Park in Concord. This figure represents the citizen soldiers, farmers, craftsmen, and ordinary residents who were ready to fight the British colonial forces at a moment's notice during the early days of the American Revolution. The Minuteman stance, with a musket held at the ready, represents bravery, sacrifice, and the powerful role Massachusetts played in the pursuit of American freedom. Inscribed next to the Minuteman is a nickname, the Bay State, which references Massachusetts' long connection to coastal trade, early settlement routes, and maritime influence. Beneath the design is the inscription E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one, linking the state's unique identity to the unity of the nation. From a technical perspective, the 2000 D Massachusetts quarter is composed of a copper-nickel-clad mixture consisting of pure copper layered between outer shells of a nickel-copper alloy. The coin has a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, with a reeded, grooved edge. The design combines durability for circulation and aesthetic appeal for collectors. Nearly 535 million Massachusetts quarters were produced at the Denver Mint, making it accessible to collectors worldwide while still offering opportunities for premium value in uncirculated, mint state, or era varieties. Some notable collectible varieties include off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, and coins with misaligned dies, all of which can significantly raise a coin's worth beyond face value. The Massachusetts 2000 D quarter holds an important place within the broader narrative of American numismatics. It was part of a program that revitalized U.S. coin collecting by giving each state a platform to share its unique story. For Massachusetts, the coin symbolizes centuries of leadership in politics, education, revolution, and culture, from the Boston Tea Party to iconic literary and scientific achievements. As a widely circulated coin, it bridges everyday commerce with historical appreciation, allowing millions to hold a miniature tribute to American independence. Whether kept as part of collection or discovered in pocket change, the Massachusetts D Mint quarter remains one of the most recognizable, educational, and historically rich state quarters ever minted, honoring the legacy of a state that helped shape the nation. The United States of America quarter dollar, Georgia 1999, issued with a Philadelphia mint mark P, stands as a fourth release in the legendary 50 state quarters program, and it honors the deep, complex, and historically rich identity of the state of Georgia. Like other quarters of the series, the coin bears the classic inscriptions on the obverse, including United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and Quarter Dollar, but the Georgia design carries unique symbols that reflect more than 2 centuries of the state's political development and cultural heritage. Georgia entered the Union in 1788, a date displayed proudly on the reverse to commemorate its role as the fourth state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. The coin was minted in 1999, the inaugural year of the State Quarter Program, which aimed to educate the public about each state's history while bringing renewed excitement to U.S. coin collecting. The presence of the P mint mark beneath George Washington's portrait signifies that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest U.S. minting facility and one of the primary producers of circulating coinage for the nation. The obverse front continues a long-standing tradition of featuring a dignified portrait of George Washington, designed originally by John Flanagan in 1932. This portrait was slightly modified in 1999 to enhance detail and clarity for the new series. Washington's strong profile represents leadership, independence, and the founding values of the United States. Surrounding the portrait are inscriptions including liberty, symbolizing the ideals upon which the nation was built, and I in God We Trust, the official motto that expresses national unity and shared belief. The name of the country, United States of America, appears at the top, while the denomination quarter dollar is placed below the bust. These classic elements ensure consistency across U.S. coinage while letting each state's reverse design showcase its own story. The reverse back of the Georgia 1999 quarter is filled with rich symbolism. The central feature is a state outline of Georgia, presented behind a majestic peach, the state's most famous agricultural symbol and the inspiration for Georgia's nickname, the Peach State. The peach, placed prominently at the center, represents hospitality, heritage, and the long-standing agricultural economy that shaped much of the state's growth. Surrounding the peach and state outline is an intricate wreath made of southern live oak leaves, the official state tree of Georgia. The wreath symbolizes strength, durability, and the long history of the Georgia people, who have endured many eras, from colonization to the American Revolution, and from the Civil War to the modern era of social and economic development. Beneath the primary imagery lies the state's historic motto, wisdom, justice, moderation. Adopted from the Georgia State Seal, this 3-part motto conveys the core virtues upon which the state's government was founded. Wisdom represents the importance of making thoughtful decisions, particularly within legislative processes. Justice signifies a fair application of laws and the moral responsibility of the judiciary. Moderation emphasizes balance, restraint, and fairness, particularly in the enforcement and interpretation of laws. Together, these principles serve as a guiding framework for Georgia's political identity and are deeply connected to its long-standing government traditions. Finally, the inscription E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one, connects Georgia's unique identity to the unity of the broader American nation. Technically, the Georgia 1999 P quarter follows the standard composition of modern circulating U.S. quarters, being minted from copper-nickel-clad metal. This results in a durable coin built from a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of a nickel-copper alloy. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a reeded edge with 119 ridges. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 451 million Georgia state quarters for circulation, making it widely accessible but still collectible, especially in uncirculated condition or with special varieties. Collectors often seek out mint state, MS, graded examples, high-quality uncirculated rolls, and rare error coins. Some notable errors include off-center strikes, die chips, double-die varieties, and misaligned dies, each of which can significantly increase a coin's value depending on severity and condition. In the broader context of numismatics, the Georgia 1999 P quarter holds special significance because it was part of the first year of the state quarters program, which dramatically revived public interest in coin collecting across the United States. For millions of collectors, this coin represents not just Georgia's identity but also the excitement of a new era in American coinage. Whether found in pocket change, received in bankrolls, or preserved in albums, the Georgia quarter remains one of the most historically meaningful and beautifully symbolic coins of the entire 50-state collection. It serves as a miniature monument to the state's cultural heritage, political principles, and contributions to the nation since 1788. The United States of America quarter dollar, New York 2001, issued with a Philadelphia Mint Mark P, is the 11th release in the celebrated 50-state quarters program, and it pays tribute to one of the most historically significant, culturally influential, and globally recognized states in the nation. As with all state quarters, the obverse carries the timeless inscriptions United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and Quarter Dollar, but the New York design stands out because of its powerful connection to immigration, freedom, and national identity. The year 1788, which appears on the reverse, marks the moment New York became the 11th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, securing its role as a political and economic hub during the early years of the new republic. The year 2001 on the coin signifies its release date, a year forever remembered in American history, making this quarter especially meaningful as a symbol of resilience and unity. The P Mint mark identifies its origin at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation. The obverse front side of the New York quarter features a classic portrait of George Washington, designed in 1932 by John Flanagan and slightly updated in 1999 to enhance clarity for the state quarter program. Washington's strong and noble profile symbolizes leadership, independence, and the foundational ideals of the United States. Around the portrait, the inscriptions Liberty and I in God We Trust serve as reminders of the core values on which the country was built. The country's name, United States of America, crowns the top of the obverse, while the denomination quarter dollar sits below Washington's neckline, marking the coin's value. The familiar appearance of the obverse helps maintain consistency in U.S. coinage while allowing the reverse side to showcase each state's unique characteristics. The reverse backside of the New York 2001 quarter features one of the most iconic images in American history, the Statue of Liberty, standing tall as a global symbol of hope, liberty, and new beginnings. The design portrays Lady Liberty in her classic pose, holding the torch high to illuminate the path toward freedom. Behind her is a finely engraved outline of the state of New York, accurately representing its geographic shape, including the borders that stretch from the Great Lakes region down to the Atlantic coastline. Cutting through the state outline is a series of delicately engraved lines representing the flight paths of migrating people, referencing New York's long history as the entry point for millions of immigrants and travelers. These lines also symbolize movement, progress, and the state's role as a gateway to opportunity. Prominently displayed above the design is the state motto, Gateway to Freedom. This powerful phrase highlights New York's role as a historical door to America, especially through Ellis Island, which processed over 12 million immigrants from the late 1800s to the mid-1900s. For countless families around the world, New York represented hope, safety, and a new beginning, and the Statue of Liberty was the first symbol they saw upon arriving in America. The inclusion of this motto anchors the emotional and historical depth of the design. Beneath the main imagery appears the inscription E Pluribus Unum, which means out of many, one, reminding us of the diversity and unity that define both New York and the nation as a whole. This phrase ties the state's legacy of immigration to the broader American identity. In terms of physical characteristics, the New York 2001 P quarter follows the standard copper-nickel-clad composition used for modern circulating quarters. It contains a pure copper core with outer layers made of a nickel-copper alloy, giving the coin its familiar silver-colored surface. The quarter weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, with a reeded edge for added texture and security. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 619 million New York quarters in 2001, making it widely available yet still collectible, especially in higher grades such as Mint State, MS-65 or MS-67. Collectors also look for error varieties such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies, which can increase the coin's value significantly depending on severity and condition. The New York State Quarter holds a special place in American numismatic history not only because of its powerful design but also because of its timing. Released in 2001, the year of the September 11th attacks, the coin became a deeper symbol of resilience, unity, and the enduring spirit of New York. Millions of Americans viewed this quarter as a reminder of the importance of liberty and national strength. Today, the coin remains one of the most emotionally meaningful pieces in the entire State Quarter series. Whether found in circulation, preserved in a collection, or kept as a personal symbol of heritage, the New York 2001 P Quarter stands as a shining tribute to the ideals of freedom, diversity, and hope that define both the state and the nation.